looking through the rear screen, you don't see anybody driving.
First of all, I want to thank everybody who put money in the baskets. Normally that does go to the kitchen and wait staff here, but this year we're going to use that to help the University of Tennessee cover their large operating effort. Let's start the evening off right. Congratulations to Ole Miss finishing the season 6-6 and bowl eligible. Let's have a big round of applause for them. For those of you keeping score, this is the first winning season for the Rebel Bears. No, they're the Rebel Bears, Ursus Americanus Hotty-tottius. A lot of things happen, but you know, tonight is a recruiting meeting. We've got 3 speakers, and we want to give each of them plenty of time to talk. I know those, you know, all of you who don't have a coach who's been fired will probably be interested in recruiting this year. But a lot happened since we were together. First of all, Notre Dame is now #1 after its football program spent much of the last 3 decades looking more like #2. And I know all of you are pleased that Urban Meyer not only completed his first season at Ohio State undefeated, but because they're on probation, he'll get to spend the Christmas holidays with his family. You may also recall that Coach Meyer battled some health and stress issues at Florida, which his doctors later determined were related to the graduation of Tim Tebow. Bill, I want to congratulate you on Georgia winning the SEC East and participating in this weekend's SEC championship game. It's a major achievement, even if you played only 2 ranked teams all season and only beat 1. But don't let anyone tell you any different. There's nothing wrong with backing into a championship. While we're, I don't know, Bill, I was distracted by the last 3 years when we were beating you. But anyway, as all of you know, Georgia will play Alabama for the championship. Interesting, if Alabama wins, of course, they'll play Notre Dame for another national championship. This would be Alabama's 3rd national championship in 4 years. But their first time they played for the national championship since they've been off probation.
Whoa.
Hey, I can't help it. They've been on probation 12 of the last 16 years. Interesting, the Auburn folks, hey, what is this? You Alabama folks are better than this. Good grief, you still got your coach. Auburn, as you know, fired Coach Chiswick after just 3 seasons, or 4 seasons, I forget what it is. They'll owe Coach Chiswick and his assistants $11.09 million. But they still got a national championship at it, which is better than Tennessee did. So, funny how the NCAA, which is now investigating, couldn't find any wrongdoing when they were 12-0. So, Memphis Tiger fans. How many Memphis Tiger fans we got here?
Yeah.
One of the assistant athletic directors. I just want to say, don't worry about basketball. The U of M is now a football school. So. They finished strong, won 4 games, finished 4-4 in the conference, and with 3 straight wins. And next year we'll be ready to enter whatever's left of the Big East. Okay, I guess it's time to talk about what happened at UT. I just want to pose this to the UT fans. How many of you feel like Coach Dooley should have been given another year? Just raise your hands. No, just UT fans. UT fans. How many UT fans feel like Coach Dooley? All right. How many of, for those of you who are not UT fans, how many of you feel he should have been given another year or two? Honestly, I kind of think that he had things going in the right direction. Maybe only a little bit of tweaking could have gotten it done, you know, like using just 1- and 2-syllable words with the team. And, you know, he had a very young team. I don't know how many of you knew this. He dressed about 40 first and second year players for the Vanderbilt game. Most of the juniors and seniors were able to dress themselves. UT now finds itself in a position where they have less than $2 million in reserves. They had an operating loss last year, and $5 million they'll be paying out to Coach Dooley just as they finish paying Coach Fulmer. About another $3 million they'll be paying their assistant coaches, assuming that they don't get jobs. So to cut costs, UT will have to lay off about 10 football players next year.
Oh my
and finally this from UT, and I didn't really realize that this had been the problem, and I feel very badly for Coach Dooley. This comes directly from Dave Hart's press conference. He was asked about challenges faced by UT, and of course, after mentioning the low reserve that's only a couple of $1 million, he said, "We have challenges. We have some competitive disadvantages that have been identified that everyone in our campus has been working to overcome together. We have some academic competitive disadvantages that we are eliminating. These are all historical in nature. This has been the case for some time. We are now beginning to address and rectify some of these disadvantages that are real in nature." So apparently the problem has been the academics have been too tough at the University of Tennessee. But we hope we can get that worked out.
Is that all you got, Shelley?
No, Dr. Phil, I was hoping for some self-defecating humor from you. Did Steve make it? Steve is here, but he's out in his car apparently talking to Ohio State about getting a waiver so they can participate in the Liberty Bowl. Are we going to try to wait for him, or are you going to? Okay.
You're the president, your prerogative.
Well, then I think we're going to call up the Assistant Executive Director of Liberty Bowl Partners, Mr. Harold Grader, to introduce our players of the week. Harold?